What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another F1 Diecast review. Today we are going to be looking at this car right here, but it's not your typical F1 Diecast review. Today we're talking about wheels again. This man is making a third video on wheels. How can I possibly make 3 videos just talking about the wheels on an F1 diecast? And the reason is because I don't know, shit keeps changing. I mean, every time I talk about wheels and say, oh yeah, this is how it works, guys, this is everything you need to know, I find out new stuff, and that's happened every time I've had a video about wheels. So this will hopefully be the definitive be-all, end-all. I will not only never have to talk about the moving wheels again, but I will also be able to recap everything I've said before. Oh, there's me. So hopefully this video will be the one-stop shop for anything about moving wheels on F1 Diecast. But in order for that to be true, we have to travel back in time.
Hello, friends. Here we are. The Stuntman Show. Woo! Yeah!
Alright, not that far, but we have to travel back to my first F1 Diecast Q&A video. So we're going to put this card to the side, and what is important to know from that video? What did I say in that video that still holds true? Alright, we're now down on the table, so let's go back. There are 3 main brands of F1 diecasts that I talk about: Barago, Spark, and Mini Champs. And in terms of wheels, Barago always have moving wheels. I've never found a Barago car that doesn't, and to be honest, if you ever find a Barago car that doesn't, I'm gonna be really mad, because that would really mess stuff up. So Baragos always have moving wheels. The next brand, Spark, these ones never have moving wheels. In all of my collecting of F1 diecasts, I have never ever found a Spark diecast that does not have moving wheels. So I'm pretty confident in saying that none of them do. And then of course the last brand is Mini Champs. Now in that Q&A video, I said that modern Mini Champs do not have moving wheels. The older ones, I think older than 2011, probably have moving wheels, but based on my knowledge at the time, I said that there are no modern Mini Champs that have moving wheels. And that is where we need to flash forward to the next video, the video on Mini Champs that have moving wheels. That is where this car right here caught my attention. This 2018 Valtteri Bottas. I've owned this car since 2019. Like I said, I'm recapping everything so far. I've owned this car since 2019. The car even got its own dedicated review. But until earlier this year, until I was doing the review of the 2020 Lewis Hamilton, I did not know that this car has moving wheels. So yes, this random Mini Champs I've had for almost 2 years at this point randomly has moving wheels, but none of the other ones do. And one of my viewers had notified me on a car he has very similar to this. It's identical to this now, I know. That also had moving wheels, and I was just very confused. Why did this one have moving wheels? And that is where we left off in the last video. And thankfully, someone in the comment section of that video clued me in onto just why this car has moving wheels, but for example, and this is another car I showed in that video, this car has moving wheels, but this car that is also from 2018 does not have moving wheels. These wheels are static. So what exactly makes the difference? Well, the comment basically said this. This right here is a Resin model. Technically, it's not a diecast. I always call them diecast, that's just my umbrella word for calling model cars, but technically this car is made out of resin. This car, on the other hand, is made out of diecast. This is an actual metal car. I didn't know Mini Champs made 2 types of diecast, but they actually do. Resin models and metal models. So for example, these two mini champs right here, these are both resin models. And Spark models are actually also made out of resin. So these ones have static wheels because they are resin models. However, the metal cars have moving wheels. So resin models never have moving wheels because they're made of resin, and the metal models always have moving wheels. So that begs the question, what cars get metal models and what cars get resin models? And this is what the comment said. The comment said that only Mercedes and Red Bull get metal models. For whatever reason, none of the other teams do. I'm assuming it's because metal models are a little bit more expensive, and so if they're going to be producing them at a lower quantity, they want to use the resin ones. But for metal, for Red Bull and Mercedes, since those are going to be the best sellers probably, they are going to make metal models for them because there is going to be more diecast produced. However, you guys may remember that I also have this Mini Champs Mercedes right here. This is the 2019 Mercedes, and this car does not have moving wheels. This car does not have moving wheels either. This is a resin model, and the wheels are static. So only Mini Champs only Mercedes and Red Bull, but not all Mercedes and Red Bull. Now the comment said that Mini Champs only produces metal models for like the beginning of the season cars, or cars that are going to be produced at a higher quantity. And so for a race specific car like that Lewis Hamilton, if you see the box right here, it is specifically from the Chinese Grand Prix, and it's got a limited edition of 504. The Valtteri Bottas doesn't have how many were produced, but I'm assuming it's more. But the comment said that specific race version cars do not ever have moving wheels because they are produced at lower quantities, and so they're made of resin. Now, I don't think that's entirely true. I think it's kind of random how they decide if it's a metal model or a resin model, because in my research, I actually found a Max Verstappen 2018 Mexican Grand Prix race winner that was a metal model. And the car we are going to be looking at today, yeah, remember, this was a car that we were looking at today. This is specifically from the Austrian Grand Prix, and it was also only produced in a quantity of 504. However, if we take a look at the back of the box, this is the way that you can tell if you've got a resin or a metal model. Maybe you already saw it. You can see it right there, Metal 143. And I had to dig up the old box for the Valtteri Bottas. It was buried in my trash, basically. But there it is, Metal 143. And here's the box for the Lewis Hamilton, and it is Resin 143. So if you are specifically looking for a metal model, it could always be a good idea to message the seller and ask them if it says it's metal or resin on the back, because not all the listings will say. That's actually what I did for this car right here. It is specifically from the Austrian Grand Prix last year, so I'm really not sure how they decide if it's going to be a metal or a resin model. Maybe because of COVID last year, they sort of changed it up. But like I said, that Mexican Grand Prix car from 2018 was a metal model, so I am not entirely sure on that just yet. Now, this is a metal model, but let's just see. Let's take a look at this car and see if it has moving wheels like the other Valtteri Bottas. This will be the definitive be-all, end-all. I've already said it before. If this car, for whatever reason, didn't have moving wheels, I'd be pretty mad, because then I would just have to trash this whole video. I'll probably be doing a proper comparison some other time with this car, because I do really want to talk about this car, because I think it actually kind of sucks. I think it's the worst Mini Champs diecast I have, but that is for another day. The important thing is, do the wheels move on this Valtteri Bottas? Yes, they do. Front and back. The front ones are actually pretty loose on here. Yeah, they'll never move when you put them on the ground. They're just really not built to do that. But there it is. The wheels mystery, whatever the hell I said in the last video, has for now been solved. I'm sure I'll get a comment on this video saying I have a Spark diecast where the wheels move, and I'm gonna have to make another video about this sometimes. But that is that is all that I have to say about this today. Yes, many of you in the comments might be wondering, yes, all of this is pointless. None of this actually matters. Moving wheels don't matter. But people ask me, or at least they used to ask me all the time, about whether or not the wheels on the cars moved. It seriously happened in like every single video. Now obviously I've made 2 videos on it already, so people have kind of slowed down, but it is kind of an interesting thing. I mean, a lot of model cars don't actually have moving wheels, and a lot of them do. I mean, they're just going to be sitting on a shelf, so it doesn't really matter, but it is a legitimate thing that people do ask me about from time to time, and so I figured it is important for me to answer that question because I am the smartest person ever and I know everything. Valtteri Bottas has had a horrible, horrible season this year. I mean, he won Turkey, but like, god damn, man. He has had a rough go of it this year. Hopefully he finds success at Alfa Romeo, at least before Michael Andretti buys that shit. I mean, man, can you imagine Valtteri Bottas finally finds a team that maybe he could be the first driver at, and then Michael Andretti buys it, and then it's like, yeah, Colton Hurd is the first driver now, bitch. But that didn't happen. Valtteri Bottas was lucky that day. He's never lucky. If he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have luck at all. I think that is all I have to say about F1 diecasts and wheels. And hopefully, that's all I'll have to say for the rest of the time. I probably won't have to talk about this ever again. Hopefully. Thank you guys for watching this video. We are so... if anyone is watching to the end, I don't know if anyone actually does this, but we are so close to 2,000 subscribers. If we can get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I never ask this stuff, so I honestly, I don't care. But if we can get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I will do a review on that 1/18th scale Roman Grosjean from Bahrain. I mean, if you don't want that car, then don't subscribe. If you don't want me to review that, then don't subscribe. But like, I've said I'm not gonna review 1/18 scales ever, but I will if we get to 2,000 by the end of the year. And I have no idea when this video is gonna be done. This is kind of loose. I'm kind of sussed out by that. I don't know if I don't like that. I don't like what's happening there. If we get to 2,000 by the end of the year, I'll do a review of that car sometime in 2022. But for now, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.